Recently, the sweetest show on TV was canceled. You may have heard of it. Joe Pera Talks With You, Seasons 1 through 3. If you're asking yourself, what is that? And why would I want Joe Pera to talk with me? Well, then you're missing out. Here's the deal. I'm going to tell you about this show and the impact it had on the devoted group of fans it garnered. And I'm going to tell you about it in Joe Pera's own words. So sit back, relax, grab a stack of pancakes, and let's cozy up under the blankets as Joe Pera talks with us. Before we jump into the video, don't forget to pounce on the like and subscribe buttons along with the notification bell. It would really help support my channel, plus you'll know when one of my new videos drops. And now, back to the show. On May 20th, 2018, a show starring a stand-up comedian named Joe Pera aired on Adult Swim. The show stemmed from a 2016 animated special called Joe Pera Talks You to Sleep. It was designed to be an odd and relaxing way for you to, well, fall asleep. Some swear that it works like a charm. I wouldn't know, I was sleeping at the time. In the special, Joe sits in his chair by the fire with his dog Gus and talks with you about various things. Relaxing things, mainly, like listening to old voicemails, pontificating on fireworks and what makes them so mesmerizing, as well as talking about how Bernie Madoff broke the law and ended up where he belongs, in jail. How's that for a sampler plate? Another TV special that starred Pera was Joe Pera Helps You Find the Perfect Christmas Tree. Both of these specials aired on the Adult Swim show, Infomercials. Season 2 and 3 of his series, Joe Pera Talks With You, aired on December 2019 and December 2021, respectively. The show can comfortably be described as Mr. Rogers meets Napoleon Dynamite. The sweet married with the awkward. It's an intoxicating mixture. I remember I was house-sitting for a friend when I was looking for something to watch. I stumbled upon the animated special where some dude who looks like a young grandpa talks you to sleep. I was intrigued. Then I did a little research and found out that this guy had an entire live-action show on Adult Swim. Well, I started watching, and after what seemed like minutes, I had binged the whole first season. It doesn't hurt that each episode is only 11 minutes. Well, almost. There are some longer episodes in there which always put a smile on my face. I was struck by the dry humor and deadpan deliveries of all the stories in the show. It was relaxing and hypnotic. It was also genuinely funny. Funny in a different way than is usually depicted. It's hard to describe. There's a benefit to watching Joe Pera Talks With You. Imagine watching all of the anxiety and fear taking place in your world and on your TV screens, and then stumbling across this gem of a show. It felt like a nice, cleansing bath. A place to soak and think about the small yet beautiful things in life we take for granted. For the next few years, I would always eagerly await the next season. Many times I'd just repeat the seasons available to me until the next one would debut. It always felt like a long wait, but it was always worth it to me. Unfortunately, that cycle of watching and waiting would only happen 2 more times after the first season. Recently, the singularly unique series was canceled by Adult Swim. It's funny, I had been meaning to make a video about Joe Pera anyway, but the sad news of the show's cancellation has moved it up to the front of my queue. As promised, I'm going to read Joe's letter to his fans on his website, joepera.com. In it, he addresses how he took the news and what's next for him and the world he created. Hello. I am writing to share the unfortunate news that Joe... No, I'm not going to do that, boys. Okay. Hello. I'm writing to share the unfortunate news that Joe Pera Talks With You is over for now. We were driving home from Bethlehem, PA, the morning after my final spring tour show when I got a call that it wouldn't be renewed for another season. Okay, I know what to do, I thought, and stopped the car for some fast food. It was a lot to process, especially after meeting so many of you on the road who were so enthusiastic about it. I hadn't done much touring since right after season 1 in 2018, and to feel such a welcome at each show was overwhelming. It was the best when I'd meet someone after a show and they'd mention they'd watched the Christmas tree special every December, or tell me that the sleep episodes actually work, or that they showed the series to their dad, and at first he hated it, but now they watch it together regularly. I thought about that as I ate my chicken sandwich and fries. I also thought about how we were really just getting going. This winter, I spent 3 weeks in Marquette doing research, also drinking beer, and was filled with new ideas. But mostly, it's a shame that the characters' stories can't continue. I knew where things were headed, but I won't say here because part of me is holding out hope that sometime down the line, we can film a proper ending for Joe, Sarah, the Melskys, Jean, Lulu, and most importantly, Fred the Sample Guy. We had an idea where Fred starts a regret club, where people are encouraged to come and share things they regret most in their lives, under the pretense that the club will help them find some resolution. But Fred hasn't planned that far ahead, and everyone just gets pissed off at him. At the same time, I thought about how lucky we were. The more I learn how TV works, the more I realize that it's kind of a miracle that our quiet, 11-minute show about rocks, beans, grocery stores, and breakfast crews got on the air and lasted as long as it did. I also felt very lucky that I was able to work with my close friends and recognized how special it was that all these funny people were working on the same thing for a period of time. There was always a little guilt that Joe Firestone and Connor O'Malley should be devoting energy to shows of their own, but hopefully they will be soon. As should all the writers, Dan Licata, Nathan Min, Katie Dolan, Whit Conway, the editor, and of course, director Marty Shoesbo, plus Joe Scott, Brad Howe, Annie Donnelly, Devin Bockrath, Carmen Christopher, and many other comedians who were so funny in their characters. And it was rare how much creative freedom we were given by the network. An episode where a guy recreates the 2001 film Rat Race with his friends that also realistically depicts the experience of losing a family member? Go for it. It felt like we cracked something, a different kind of tone that has now popped up a bit elsewhere. Kinda neat, but also frustrating that we won't be able to continue exploring it, at least with this show. Hey, if I never make anything else, this was the show I always wanted to see, and I'm glad it now exists. But hopefully, that's not the case. So what is next? Well, a credit card company proposed to me that we do a 30-second version of the show, like a show that goes between other shows and I hold up their credit card at the end. It sounded great to me, so I said, just kidding, I would never. I'm working on a few movie ideas, including Postcard Men, of course. It was a little discouraging when I showed it to a studio and they said that it was too far ahead of its time and that I should shelve it for a couple decades till people are ready. But I'm going to keep moving forward with it anyhow. And the tour has been great. I started out doing stand-up, but for the past 4 to 5 years, most of the writing and bits I put together on stage have been folded into the TV show. Doing stand-up for stand-up's sake is a treat, and last week I decided that it's time to film a special. If you come to one of the upcoming shows, I'm going to be working out the kinks and then trying to film it in December. Maybe a network will want to do it. Maybe not, and I'll do it myself, but it's time. And Marty has agreed to direct. And that's what I've got for now. A sincere thank you to everyone who has made the show possible. To the many people who worked on it and gave so much of their talent and hard work to it. That especially includes the crew in Milwaukee, many of whom have been with the show from the start. And thank you for watching and supporting the show and helping it get as far as it did. I'm sorry if this is disappointing news. There's always fast food. But maybe I'll see you at a live show this summer or fall, and I will let you know when the next thing is rolling. Sincerely, Joe. And with that, we wait. I hope we get to see a much-deserved continuation of Joe Pera Talks With You. The world was made a better, sweeter place because of its existence. I know I, for one, will be eagerly awaiting the next time Joe talks with us.